Most important thing we're going to teach you to do here at No Selling Sales is how to survive. Now, I've watched a lot of videos and been to conferences where everybody makes you feel bad, right? How much money are you earning? Oh, you need to be earning 20K, 30K, 40K, whatever bullshit number they're pulling out of the air to make you feel bad about your life in order for them to, really grab control of whatever it is they're trying to sell for you and make you feel insecure. What we're going to do here, first and foremost, is teach you how to survive. Because survival in business, survival in life is really, survival is the most important part, right? And there was never a harder time for me than when I was starting off. Trying to figure out how to make $2,000 a month in order to pay my bills was the absolute hardest learning curve I had because I didn't know how to do it and I didn't know if I could do it and I had to do it. So getting there, so whatever your goal is, whatever your monthly expenses are, whether it's 3K, 4K, 5K, I'd recommend keeping them as low as possible so you've got the highest chance of survival as possible. And this really is a completely different mentality. I find is if you're working, you'll notice that I'm very pessimistic when it comes to sales, is I'm trying to make sure, and that's because of this, is I'm always trying to survive. I'm always trying to look at worst case scenario because regardless of what happens, I know if everything goes wrong, this is where I'll be at, which is very opposite to salespeople, I think, in the general sense, because normally they're very braggadocious, they're very showy, instead of actually just doing the principles and the fundamentals that are really going to get results. So and say that would be step one. How do you go out there and sell enough in order to achieve that bare minimum standard of you surviving? And I was having a conversation with one of my agents the other day, and they're a bit worried about money. They just joined, and I found that normally within about 2 to 3 months, I can get them up to generating 10K a month. And I was thinking about how profound that is as a skill, because I was, I wasn't able to do it. The guy's like 24. I wasn't able to do it at that age. But how amazing it is that once they've learnt this, uh, they never have to go back. And that's really why I think one of the big reasons of why I'm doing these videos and these playlists is helping people figure that out, right, is very, very life changing. It was definitely life changing for me when I was finally able to start paying my bills. And then I was finally able to go on the offense because once I hit that baseline standard of survival, then really everything became possible. Is once I was able to break 2K, then I was like 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K a month was easy in comparison because I didn't have that worry and I didn't have that self-doubt. So here, we're going to give you everything you need to survive. And what I don't want you doing is feeling bad by how much money you're not making because that isn't something that you need, right? These people that are trying to sell you courses or trying to sell you some get rich quick thing, they're always trying to make you feel insecure about where you're at the moment. But if you're watching this playlist and you're taking note and you're learning, then you're already in a step in the right direction towards first and foremost that survival, and then from there is you can learn to flourish. So I really, really want you to think about that as you're going through this and you're learning these principles and you're learning how to lose and you're learning how to get through these deals and you're learning how to get rid of deals or get rid of clients very, very quickly, not intentionally, but just knowing that they're not really going to be the right fit. Is all you have to look at is, and we do this a lot, and I do this with each of my salespeople each month, is you look at, okay, worst case scenario, who are the sure bets people that I'm working with that you like, that you get on with, that have been earnest up until this point and are most likely to transact, and then go off of those numbers rather than, I remember my first American sales team that I was on, and they went around the room and like, what are you gonna do, John? And John was like, oh, I'm gonna do 40 grand this month, and I'm like, okay. Bearing in mind, nobody's done any sales yet, right? Other guy, what you can do? I'm gonna do 25 grand. Okay, James. What are you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna do 30 grand. Okay, Sarah. And it gets around to me, and they're like, "What are you gonna do?" I said, "I'm gonna do $10,000." And oh, really, Danny? Is that it? Is that all you're gonna do? Come on, you can do better than that. I was like, no, I don't particularly think I can, but I know I can do $10,000, so that's where I'm gonna start. As it's my first month, and sure enough, end of the month comes round, and I've done, I think, 12 or 13,000. I've, just gotten over it. Sure enough, James has done six, right? John's done five. Sarah's done one and left crying because she wasn't able to get anything going on. And yeah, is so that's what I want you to look at here. Is I don't want you to give yourself crazy expectations, or I don't want you to give yourself this crazy pressure. That's what I made the mistake of doing in the beginning. I just want you to get a very clear, simple, stable goal. So the purpose of this video is, what number does it take for you to survive each month? What amount is that? And write that down, and then worst case scenario what you're going to need each month, and then we can work backwards from there and get you to it. And then once you've worked backwards from there and you've started achieving that every month and you're getting more and more confident, then doubling that number isn't going to be anything crazy, because you come from a place of confidence that you've been able to meet your bare means of survival. And they did a study on people that passed $70,000 a year, and once you've hit that comfortability of survival, happiness doesn't really improve that much with the amount of money you make. So really, we want to get you to a happy, positive state where you're at least able to lose all of the adrenaline and fear of everything, right, taking your life away. One bill hitting you and being bad, because then you can really go out there and flourish. So step one is really survival.